Welcome to Eyes on Sedona Skies with Sedona Dave. We're here to talk about our upcoming documentary feature film that we're filming with 8 influencers that are blind in Sedona. And tonight, I am extremely pleased to present 2 of the coolest ladies I've ever been flying in helicopters above New York City with no doors and our legs hanging out the helicopter. April Lufriu and her sister Melissa. On a resume, would you ever put intern for Mrs. World, or would you just be like, I'm serious.
I hadn't thought of that.
Dude, the second you said, like, if somebody put a freaking resume on my desk,
good marks for that.
I would be like, okay, I'm calling this guy. Now, what's this about? You're interning for Mrs. You can create whatever title you want, as far as I can think, right?
Yeah, she's Mrs. World. I'm Captain America.
Oh, that's just. Oh. I'd still probably call you to figure out what you're talking about. This is a bit of a reunion for this group because we all met a little over a year ago in New Jersey. And so you've already met Sedona Dave.
Yes.
Okay. Sedona Dave, this is April and Melissa, and we will be in Sedona next week. What do you think about that?
I'm so excited. First of all, it's so great to see you two again.
Me too.
It's been a year plus. I'm just excited.
I think we're all itching just to get out.
Yeah.
It's about, and it's not just about 1 or 2 or 10 things. It's let's go. Let's just get back to life. And what a way to get back to life. Let's kickstart the new year in this new world of ours out on the Red Rocks. I've got so much to show. I don't want to say show off, but all right, show off. There's so much to see and feel and do and experience out here in Sedona. And just for me to be able to open my world up to you all is just tremendously exciting. And a lot of planning, a lot of patience, a lot of waiting, a lot of anticipation gone into this trip. And man, now it's next week.
The first time I met Melissa, Dave, and we're standing, I met you. I was actually throwing a little temper tantrum outside of a stretch limo, if you remember, which was hilarious. The very first time I met Mrs. World, I was throwing a temper tantrum. That was so funny. Oh, that's hilarious. So anyway, then we got in the limo and we're standing out front of the helicopter, and I go, and inside a building with a mock helicopter while we're waiting for the helicopter. And I was like, you really are world class. And she goes, oh, thank you. Because I was throwing the biggest fit that I think I've ever thrown in public, Dave, about I want this one person to go up in the helicopter, and somebody else got put on. And I'm like, who is it that booked this helicopter in the first place? And somebody's trying to get publicity. And I was like, no, these are people. And I didn't want to go on. That was the whole point, is that somebody's like, no, Ben, you should go on. And I was like, no, I didn't win this. I didn't book this to go on. I was just trying to be prideful. Yeah. And Melissa was just and Melissa was just like there being so pleasant and just like I'm happy to be here. And I guess April came over and just stood next to me and just smiled and it was just just so pleasant. And I don't know how to explain it. I felt so at ease. And I was like, I literally told you, April, I go, I might not have said exactly what I was thinking, but I literally, in my mind was like, now I truly understand what it means to be world class. And I gotta tell you, I like to think a little bit of that rubs off on people when people go interact with one another out in public. I just think we rub off on one another, and so that's good. And I appreciate.
But you know what? I didn't see you as having a little.
No,
I saw you standing up for someone that deserved to go on that flight rather than someone that could see and was. He was the YouTuber. So you were fighting for a friend. So you were doing it. I never even thought you were having a fit. I'm like, what a good guy. He is
thank you.
Someone that deserved to be there.
Right.
Yeah, you didn't come across as a diva at all.
No, you didn't, Ben.
You two were so wonderful to me. And I pushed a button in my head and I said, I'm not going to be embarrassed about any of this. Not right now, because I'm just having too much fun. And that's because we had, and just so you know, every once in a while, I just go through my Facebook and I scroll down just thinking about my old memories. And I go, I got to keep scrolling till I see the helicopter. Scroll. Yeah, it sure was.
Yeah, that was a fun trip. That was, and you know what? I don't think none of us, we were so excited. We weren't even scared to have no doors.
Scared? That was the coolest thing ever.
That was cool. I enjoyed that. Yeah.
So now,
And I
Melissa,
had a good day that day where I was able to see, the Statue of Liberty. I couldn't see fine details, but I could see the images. So I was grateful for that day.
I remember asking you that. I was gonna say, like, you remember, like, I was like, I asked you this. And I said, did you know we were in front of the Statue of Liberty? And you did.
Yeah.
And it was such a powerful moment for our group because we were all standing there when I asked that, and it was just cool. And I want to.
She didn't even know we were in the air when we first took off.
Oh my gosh. That was, I will say, I had just 1 minute of nerves, and that was literally as we went up and the air went through.
No,
the
I knew we were up, but I didn't know we were moving,
Right.
I couldn't see the images moving like a normal sighted person. So, and then I started focusing a little bit more, and then my sister goes, look, keep looking. And I did. So yeah, that was amazing.
Michael Benson, I want to take a moment. I'm pointing at the sky and saying, major respect, brother. I appreciate that. Major shout out. Thanks for introducing me to April and to Melissa. And for introducing Sedona Dave.
And me.
I'm going to plug in my phone. So
Michael.
What a day.
What a day.
You guys would be great mentors for him.
I'll be Maverick, you be Goose.
Oh.
You always get to be Maverick. I want to be Maverick.
You can be Iceman.
Yeah, Ben, you'll be Iceman.
I'm like, you guys are taking me out of the RP Brotherhood. What's going on?
It's not your flying that bothers me. It's your attitude.
That's funny. There is
I love it.
Ice, man. Sorry.
Yeah, that,
So now I gotta
right.
keep doing that.
Ice, man.
Ice. You're like ice.
that was classic.
Sorry.
Are you
Now
guys
what
like
you've done.
long lost best friends?
We've got wilderness areas. We've got areas that you cannot film, that you cannot fly drones.
Areas you cannot touch any of the rocks.
Really?
There
Oh,
are
wow.
those. Ooh, we might be there. Ooh, we will be there on Thursday.
Not touching the rocks, but looking real close at the petroglyphs on the walls.
Oh my.
Absolute. So putting this all together with the Forest Service, with their guidelines, it was a great experience. It was a great task. But I also discovered that it's not just ask and you will receive, but people are very philanthropic out here, and they want to help. And I made a simple request to the Forest Service to go to this ancient Native American site. He got very excited in the project. A bunch of blind people, what they can experience at an ancient Native site. He pulled some strings, and now we are able to film, which is forbidden. And they've provided us with an archaeologist and an interpreter.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Oh my
so people are just loading us up with goodness.
Yes.
And I mean, how can we fail with the energy we have, with the smiles that we have going? Really, how can this be anything but an amazing experience? It's big things. And a lot of the work I did was problem solving. How to get from here to that, to get that done.
Mhm.
And going blind, obviously I'm not a surveyor anymore, but the art of problem solving apparently seeped in. And as we were putting this trip together, and as it grew and grew some more, I realized it's not as simple as grab a couple people and let's go hiking. There were so many things to consider. Talking to the National Forest Service, they have rules and regulations. I used to be a wildland firefighter with the Park Service, so I'm familiar with some of the lingo and the dynamics of working with these national agencies.
And then I'd really like to have
like
each of these ladies introduce themselves and what they're up to in the world and what they're thinking about this trip. I got some specific questions about Sedona and also their eyesight and specifically the fact that these ladies are sisters. with
Yes.
RP. There are RP sisters, brother. So, but on that note, though, Dave, could we tell them about this really nice Airbnb that you have that actually does have amazing Red Rock views and energy
my
vortexes
gosh.
right outside of it? Because it's like a 2-bedroom apartment, right? That's what you got for us to stay at.
A 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah, no, it's a 1-bedroom Swiss chalet. It's really cozy with a loft, with a pool table.
So Kirk and half of the crew is going to
have.
stay at a hotel, by the way. And so we have a big group. Some people stay at a hotel, but Melissa and April and Brandon, you guys are all going to stay at this Airbnb.
Right.
Oh,
what
really?
it is. What it is. It is a 5-bedroom house with beautiful views. Just on the outskirts of town, you're going to have some amazing this is a dark sky community, and everybody brags about the dark skies. I mean, to me, they're all dark skies.
That's true.
And I was going to say, because you're on the outskirts of town, the skies will be even darker. But that was a little.
We could look up and see the stars. I wish.
Yeah, I wish. I'm sorry about that. That might have been insensitive.
I'll have to bring binoculars to look up.
We have Brent Day, who is a professional and extremely seasoned cameraman, and he's been filming with Atlanta Eats in Atlanta, Georgia, and he also has a small film festival in Atlanta as well. And he's our head photographer, and he's doing mentorship with several blind photographers and filmmakers as well. And my brother, I wouldn't call him a hobbyist. He's a couple steps above that. He'll be out with us as well. And Barry is also quite the cameraman. And then I fancy myself as a cameraman, but as you know, I am visually impaired, legally blind. So we're bringing multiple cameras, and we're going to have 2 different teams, which I'm pretty excited about too. So, April.
Yes, my dear.
As I understand it, you have some experience doing films and being on camera. So what kind of, what kinds of things do you do to prepare to come onto a film like this? And are you excited? Are you nervous? What do you think about Sedona? All those questions all at once.
Yes.
All at once. So this will be my second trip to Sedona. We were there in 2012. And so we stayed a little bit in Sedona, and then we drove from Sedona to the Grand Canyon. So it was an amazing trip. So I'm so happy to be going back and to have my son with me as well. And he was there. It was a whole big family trip. I do have experience being on camera. I'm currently a guest host on Home Shopping Network. I'm on air. Actually, as a matter of fact, I have a show on Thursday. So about 3 to 5 times a week, I'm live on television.
That's so cool. I actually have cheered for you one time. I was like, oh, I know that lady.
Yeah, so you got to be on your tippy toes when you're doing live.
I did not know this.
But it's also pretty cool, like if you mess up on live TV, they kind of like a little bit of that because it shows the human side. And I'm also an actor, not full-time, but part-time. I do have my own business. I own a marble and granite company. So that's what I do, 95% of the time. But I've been acting for about 10 years, mostly commercials. I just started dabbling into film and TV. I haven't booked anything extremely big, but I was on a Hallmark movie called True Love Blooms. That was 2 years ago. And I've done a couple of short films. But for this one, I think the only way to really prepare is to be organic and be yourself. And that's going to really show the human side of all of it. I think we all need to tell a story, and it's the storytelling that really grabs people because they can relate to storytelling rather than making up things like reality TV. A lot of that stuff is made up and dramatized. So I'm just going to be myself and enjoy every moment of this beautiful adventure and being outdoors. I am an outdoors girl. I know I'm a former beauty queen. Honest, I'm so over pageants. I'm so over gowns and high heels. It's not me.
Hearing what you were or were not able to see out of the helicopter, I'm curious where you are with your vision.
Yeah, and on that note, Dave, one thing I want to touch on with these ladies, that's a perfect question right now, is as sisters growing up together.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh,
with this.
Yes.
And I've spoken to both of you a little bit, and I know that your eyesight is a little bit different. What's it been like, and how have you supported one another through these years? And you're both so freaking graceful about it. I am seriously amazed.
Love it. Thank you.
I was diagnosed at 21. I started noticing some changes at night driving. And I thought maybe, oh, wow, you know, I need to get my eyes checked. I need glasses. But I really noticed it on a trip to Honduras with my parents and my family one year. And we went crabbing that night, and I wasn't able to see the crabs. My mom's like, they're up there, you know, because they go up in the trees and stuff. So from that on, I noticed, wow, what's going on? You know, I didn't put two and two together that I ever would have this disease. But little things like that I started noticing. And then my sister was in the car with me one night. We're driving. I ran up on a curb. Yes. And I'm
one
like,
of those
oh,
times.
yeah, I ran up on a curb. I was like Evel Knievel there. And wasn't good. And then, wait, but what about the trip we're going to Miami? You remember that?
Oh my goodness.
Well, hold on, I'm
Alligator
curious
Alley.
real quick. What was the sister moment when that curb was there a moment of, hey, I think it might be time to hang up the keys? What happened between the two
No,
of
I
you?
didn't know I
we
had
didn't
it yet.
know.
I didn't know.
Really? Oh
No.
gosh. Okay, I'm glad I
Mm-mm.
checked on that. Okay.
So I think after a couple of times, you know, I went in for my normal checkup, and the doctor saw something. When I was 20, I started telling him about certain things I was noticing at night, and he goes, yeah, he looked a little deeper. He's been my doctor since I was 3 years old. And he goes, look, I see some things, but I'm not sure. And he sent me to USF. USF was the place where they confirmed the disease. I didn't even heard of it. I'm like, where did this come from? We knew nothing at that time. It devastated me and the family. I think I felt like my world had fallen apart because the way they had presented it to me. Well, you know, you need to prepare. You need to learn Braille because we're not sure when you'll go blind. I'm like, oh, you're kidding me. I'm only 21.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, that was a hard pill for me to swallow. Very hard, because you look at your life. I'm in college. I'm doing this and that, and it's like my whole life stopped. And you know, it did put me in I went into depression for a while. I didn't, you know, had a hard time coping with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I woke up one day and told my mom, I said, you know what? I'm not gonna let this own me. I'm gonna move forward and go on with my life and do what I want. And that's exactly what I did. And my sister's a testimony to that. I'm always smiling, laughing. I'm always wanting to do something or go somewhere and do something. So this trip to me is on my bucket list. I'm glad I'm able to go. I've never been. So
nice. Yay.
I'm
Thank you.
so grateful I have some vision that I can touch and feel and see things while I'm there to experience.
I had no idea this is your first trip to Sedona.
Never
That
been.
is cool to hear.
My first time.
What about hiking?
I'm sorry?
What about hiking for you?
We did hiking, you know, in North Carolina, Tennessee. I've done it there, but nothing like this. Yeah. We did trails, but never a real major hiking trip. But I've done a lot of trails up in the Tennessee mountains and Georgia and up that way.
Oh, I'm honored. I'm really honored that you're joining us out here. I mean, it's big.
Yeah, my sister told me.
It's something to be acknowledged. We're not climbing Everest. You know, it's nothing. We're not doing that. But it speaks to you and where you are with vision, where you are with staying active, with hiking, with it all. That you're not done, and that's one of the messages that I'm so excited to be able to share, is that we are not done. And you know, with a pair of hiking boots and a couple other accoutrements,
I'm bringing a walking stick.
We got them. They're right below me. A whole bunch of them right below me.
Nice.
Oh, you have walking sticks?
Just begun.
I was gonna buy one. Should I buy one, or do you have some?
You got him.
Oh,
Oh,
did you
And
know
it's-
that our man Sedona Dave is the inventor of a specialty hiking cane?
oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Ah.
and
Yes.
it's specifically designed for off-roading, and it's
That would
got this.
help me a lot. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Melissa, I've got this really great 30-minute short film. It's the first film I've made since
Okay.
I had a short film in Sundance when I was 18 about Sedona Dave and about this hiking cane that he's invented. I'd love to send it over to you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
It's-
I'd like to see that. Yeah.
It's not just about the hiking
you'll be-
cane. It's
you
about
will
his
see it.
life and his wife and how this cane
Experience.
enhanced their entire existence in Sedona because they could go out on the trails again.
You know, that to me is a blessing that I'm able to do this. You know, there's a lot of things I haven't been able to do, but I try to do as much as I can. So
Nice.
We
this
call
to
her
me,
the road runner. She's the road runner. She's always
She
ready
is.
to go.
my next thing to do, I want to jump out of a plane.
Whoa,
And my
Out of
sister
a
won't
perfectly
do
good
it.
airplane.
She won't do it.
really? Well, Melissa, I'll tell you something interesting. I called April pretty quick after we got back from the helicopter ride.
Uh-huh.
And I said, I've got, at that time, I hadn't started Blind Dance Film Festival. I have a shirt that says almostblind.org, almostblind.org. Not because I'm going blind and I'm telling everybody I'm going
Yeah.
blind. It's the two quickest words to say. If I accidentally bump into somebody, say, hey, it's nice to meet you. I'm almost blind, Ben. Yes, I can see you. And yes, I saw the white cane. And on the black, it says almostblind.org, just in case somebody goes, why is this guy not walking forward? He's just standing there in line. What's going on? They see, I'm like, oh, he's almost blind. They might even look it up and see, oh, almostblind.org. My point in telling you all that is I called April and I said, your family, all with RP, it's like such an extraordinary story. And you guys are amazing on camera. I haven't met Brandon, but I'm just assuming because he's from your guys' family. And I was like, is there any way at some point in time, and I'm not like a wealthy person, this is a nonprofit that I started and I pay for,
Right.
but could we all like wear almost blind shirts one day and take a picture and put it up on the website?
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
And,
Yes.
that's been a
absolutely.
dream of mine. And so
Oh yeah.
that's why I wore
Melissa-
this shirt for today.
I love it. And it explains perfectly because so many people think if you're blind that you're in the dark. There's so many different
And you're not.
things
Yeah.
of blind. Melissa, you're out of the camera. Move. There you go. Now you're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I was going to say though, Melissa, is if
I was
you
leaning
decide
on
to
the
jump,
left.
if you decide to jump in out of a plane,
Okay.
if we can please film it, because I'd love to put that on the Almost Blind website.
There
You
you
know,
go.
Ben, I was supposed to do that when I turned 50 and a hurricane came through Tampa and shut everything down. And then my sister chickened out on me and won't do it. And I lost my deposit.
Oh, oh,
So I told her this year I want to do it for my birthday in September.
in
I don't know. Are
September.
you gonna do it, April?
I guess.
All right, April.
Hey, you know what?
Yay. That's the
Ben,
spirit. Yay, April.
What's
y'all
up?
fly
Film
out.
it.
Y'all fly out and y'all jump out of the plane too.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. If you April, if you invite Barry Asman in Sedona to come jump out of a plane, I promise you he will
You'll
do it.
You'll
He'll
do it.
bring
really?
me and he will jump out of a plane with us. We'll wear almost blind shirts and he'll wear a blind dance shirt because he's not almost blind. And we'll jump out of planes.
Oh my God. That's okay.
Hilarious.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's
Okay.
do it. But
All right.
that's been my thing. I've been wanting to do since I was turning 50. I planned it and everything, Ben, and we were set to go. Me,
Oh
my
my
sister, and Brandon.
gosh.
And the hurricane and shut everything down. And then she chickened out on me.
Well, we've already been up in helicopters with doors half off. We're halfway there.
Come on,
Yeah,
sis.
exactly.
Halfway there.
Come on,
Jumping off the
sis.
plane.
You'll have a
just
hot dude on your back pulling the cord.
Oh my goodness. I'm just going to pretend that I'm like jumping out of a plane and I'm James Bond. And at the bottom of that plane jump is a martini and a really good dinner. And I'm just really hungry and I got to get down there. It's like, okay, see you at dinner. Bye.
There you go.
So
There-
Ben, let me ask you, and where are you at with your vision?
So I have had, it's hard to describe. I've got detached retinas in both of my eyes. I have multiple surgeries in them.
Oh.
And so I have scar tissue on
Okay.
my left eye and they weren't able to save the retina. And I lost most of my like blood couldn't get to it. So I have a teeny tiny bit of vision in my left eye, but nothing really. And on my right eye, I had the detached retinas. They fixed them in time, but they said my retinas are really thin and there's something else. And they didn't tell me it was RP until I was almost 30, but I ran away from the eye doctors. I
Oh,
kept
so you
trying
do
to drive.
have RP.
I do have RP. In my right eye, I have an ocular ring. And I have been using a specialty little laser device called scalar energy, and I have been pretty steady at 10 degrees. And I'm not going to get measured for any time soon because I want to pretend I'm staying there for as long as I can.
And
Good for
Sedona,
you.
Dave, where are you at
Yes.
with your vision?
I've got RP
Okay.
as well.
Yeah.
And I'm down to about 7 degrees central, no dark adaptation. I also, I'm 57, so I've got a couple cataracts developing and double vision in my left eye. But the new joy of my life is the Charles Bonnet.
Oh gosh, no way.
What a joyous, glorious, quirky little freakish little joy that is to our lives. Charles Bonnet.
You ladies know about Charles Bonnet syndrome?
No.
Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. What it is.
Don't tell them so much about that, Dave. Don't worry about that.
I should.
It's not that bad.
It is bad.
It's bad.
It's not bad.
I have it too. It sucks.
What is it?
What's Charles Bonnet? I've never heard of Charles Bonnet.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Wow.
The condition is that the brain is lacking information. So it decides to make up information.
In people that are blind, and it can affect anybody that's blind.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah. It can happen to anyone that's blind because your brain needs to be stimulated.
So basically it's a hallucination. For me, it's a 24-hour hallucination. And what I see is on the very edges of my periphery, I have a sparkly ring. And the sparkly, it's like when the snow on TV, the old TV channels, how you get that snow.
Oh yeah.
Just spark. It's like that, but it's like an O-ring or a donut right around my central vision. And it was horrible until I learned to use it as a tool. And I'm now able to use it to spot for planes or look for anything, because it gives me a very clear indication of where my vision ends. And once I learned that, it was a gift. It's like a scope or a spotting scope for a rifle or a telescope. It's a blessing during the day. Problem is that at night, when I'm tired, I'm really wanting to go to sleep, I close my eyes and it's all dark and the ring is there as a constant reminder of, hey, I know you're trying to sleep, but don't forget.
Don't forget.
So it's so that's a little, it's hard sometimes. But when I'm good with it and I'm using it as a tool, it's not bad. And my condition isn't bad. I hear that others see things like evil trolls and gremlins running around.
Oh no.
I can do without that.
You know what? I wonder if my son has that. And I think he's almost home, because he's always seeing like a hooded grim reaper type of thing around the house. And I think my house is kind of haunted, but I've never seen anything, but he all the time. And now you're saying that people see creepy things, and he sees creepy things.
Yeah, please look it up. It's Charles, and the second word is BONNET, like bonnet, like Charles Bonnet syndrome.
It's interesting. This syndrome that you're talking about, Dave, like I have that same. I think it's a little bit different for me, but it drives me nuts. But I'll tell you, we are at Blind Dance working on a fictional script, so not a documentary movie, that in the future at some point, not anytime soon, it's called Orbs, and it's all based upon this Charles Bonnet syndrome. I'll tell you about 3 minutes. It's so fun. It's so fun. Imagine an old rickety house that gets restored that's left to a guy whose family's been eye doctors for years and years. And they're like, what should we do with this old rickety house? He's like, I know, we'll open a training center for people that are blind, and they can come stay there as their transition to blindness. Of course, the house is haunted. And not only is the house haunted, but these people that are blind are people that are blind, quote unquote, air quotes, are saying, I'm seeing these weird things flying around, these little orbs of light. And the eye doctor's like, well, you guys have heard of Charles Bonnet syndrome, of course, haven't you? And they're like, well, yeah, but there's these crazy orbs flying around. And he reads them the definition and they're convinced that they're just seeing these orbs. But no. I'll spoil it. I'll tell you, the orbs are real. And the sighted people, when they see them, are hypnotized by the orbs. But the people that are blind are not hypnotized by the orbs because we're legally blind. We see in different ways, and you have to see multiple orbs dancing to get hypnotized. And we just can't see them, so we don't work on us. And the orbs are like, why aren't these people getting hypnotized? And they're just terrorizing these poor blind people. And that's the script. And the coolest thing, the last thing I'll tell you about it is, imagine if you're sitting in this movie theater or at Netflix at home or whatever, and the doctor sees the orbs, he gets hypnotized, but you at home see the orbs full screen because the doctor's point of view is looking at the orbs. He can see just fine. But now it's Sedona Dave with his RP looking at the orbs, and all you see, the camera of the screen is blacked out except for this little orb, or sorry, not orb, little tunnel. And he's looking for the orbs through his tunnel. And the audience sees what Dave sees as he's running. And we won't keep it too much. People get dizzy and nauseous and stuff, but little sections where you're like, oh, that's Dave with his tunnel vision. Oh my gosh, that's so-and-so with super macular generation. Oh no, the orbs are coming. I can't see what. It's like this weird light perception only vision. We're so excited if you can't tell.
Oh my God.
That's
It's like
great.
that movie. Remember that movie that came out on Netflix about 2 years ago? It's
Bird Box.
Yes, Bird Box.
Love it. It is kind of like Bird Box, but it's completely different because we're going to show you the orbs, and the orbs don't make people kill themselves. They hypnotize sighted people. The blind people can see them, but the orbs can't do anything to them. The orbs are powerless to blind people.
Hey, we got a superpower.
Yep. Yeah. It is just like Bird Box in that theme, though, by the way. A lot of people are going to say that. But it's going to be cool because we show the tunnel of vision with the orbs going through it. And everybody's like, that's what tunnel vision's like. Those guys are at blind training school. They're legally blind. They still have a tunnel of vision. Almost blind.
Almost blind. I love it. That is so cool. I'm so glad you guys told me about this Charles Bonnet.
Yeah.
It explains so much.
Nice.
And
Oh,
it's
I'm so
serious,
happy
though.
with
It is
that.
a real thing. And people going blind, it happens to them. So,
Yes.
and as
Yes.
Dave started,
Do you think you guys are actually seeing a different dimension, or it's just really?
we don't talk about that stuff outside of Sedona, April. That's for next week.
April,
The vortex
that's
talk.
classified.
That's
It's classified info.
That's classified.
Okay.
Yep. No, but believe it or not, you're talking to the right guys about that type of topic.
Yes, you are.
Well, good. Good. It's been a mystery around here. So.
Oh my goodness. When we go skydiving, I'll check it out.
Yes.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a
Mhm.
trip. Holy smokes. Okay.
That's another great idea. You just gave me another, and I am a real filmmaker and I write these ideas down. Like I'll do it sooner or later. But what if people that are blind start seeing into a different dimension, and like,
Yes.
like all of a sudden the government's like figuring that out, and like there's no unemployed blind people ever again. That's the next movie.
Yeah, they
Anyway,
put them to use, see past reality.
yeah.
I like the Matrix. They see beyond the Matrix.
Mhm. Anyway, that was a fun side note on filmmaking. But now, April, I'm
Uh-huh.
very curious if it's okay to talk about, and I think we kind of can. It doesn't need to be in the video. I could edit out if you don't talk about it. But your vision and having a son that's been diagnosed with RP, and your interactions, with Melissa, how do you feel about your RP? How do you feel about RP in general? And just, if you wouldn't mind, just kind of opening up about the topic.
So yeah, my RP, I'm highly functioning. I was diagnosed at age 40, and I remember telling my sister I would have like depth perception, like going down steps. I became totally not confident. Like I would really like shuffle my feet to go down steps, and even now, I mean, and then light to dark changes. It does take me a time to adapt. I've been wearing glasses since I was in first grade, and glasses has nothing to do with RP. So we have very poor vision on top of having RP. But I do have cataracts. I just went to the ophthalmologist like 6 months ago, and he says, I'm not quite there to get them out, but I've been developing cataracts for the last 10 years. Which is quite early, for someone my age, and that's an early sign of RP. But I'm like on the total different end of the spectrum compared to my sister. My sister is highly affected, and I'm on the low end affected. but I do have my issues. Like compared to someone that's normal, I don't see like they do. But if I compare myself to you or my sister, it's like I see 1000%. So, but I don't see as good as a totally normal human being. But when I have two children. I have Brandon, he's 21, and I have my daughter Savannah. And when they were diagnosed, I was diagnosed on the same day. So we had 3 of us diagnosed at Shands, the official diagnosis.
Wow.
Us on the same day. And the doctor told me, he goes, April, you probably won't have like major issues till you're later in life, but he goes, kids, especially Brandon is on the high spectrum and he has a lot of issues and he can tell you more. He functions very highly during the day. He does not see well in anywhere dark. Like, for instance, he's helping my husband build, we bought this commercial building and the lighting is not that great. And my husband comes home like every day, like in tears. He can't hammer a hammer. He can't see, he's tripping over the lumber. He can't see the drywall. He's falling down, but he bounces right back up. So he doesn't cry too much about it, but there's times where he feels incompetent. He don't know what to do with his life right now. He's 21. You think a 21-year-old would be like, woohoo, I'm going to go do this. Let's go to college and figure this out. He's kind of lost right now. So I think this trip and being around Dave and Ben and everyone that has challenges and Kai, I listened to the video earlier with
Yeah.
This is going to be, he's not going to feel alone.
Nice.
And I think it's just going to be a great blessing for him. So, and it's hard as a parent for me to see my son struggle. I mean, if I could rip my eyeballs out and give it to him, I would do it in a second. But here he is. He just walked through the door.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Come this way.
My man, Brandon.
Brandon.
What's happening?
Us on separate computers or
Brother Brandon. Dude, I'm
How
very
you
happy to
doing?
meet you, dude.
This
My
is
RP brother.
Ben.
Nice to meet you too.
Good to meet you, brother.
Brandon, how's it going?
Good.
This is Dave, the Sedona blind, exhilarating tour hiker. He's got all this great gear that he's
How you doing?
branded.
Oh man, I cannot wait to get you out here, brother. Seriously.
I can't wait to go back.
Oh, man, yeah, I hear. Man, come on out. We got some good times to show you. Seriously. I can't wait to meet you. I remember where I was when I was 21. Come on out. We got some things to show you and experiences. And I personally want to spend some serious time talking to you. Just
Yeah, absolutely.
as one RP to another. I don't know, man. I'm what little your mom has spoken of you. I got to beat this. I've got to work with him. I've got to engage with this young lad of 21 and
Your timing was really good, Brandon. Like literally, we just finished talking to Melissa a little bit about her vision, and it's your mom's turn, and she spoke about, and then she's just barely slicking in Brandon. She just started talking about your vision, and you walked in the door. The timing was really cool.
That's the thing about me. I always have perfect timing.
It literally was interesting because like she was literally just like, she was like, yeah, being 21, we're talking about your diagnosis. And Dave and I were just like, yeah, I remember when I was 21. And then you walk in the door. So both Dave and I, our mindset, like, yeah, what was I doing when I was 21? Going back there. And I just want to tell you, quite frankly, when I was 18 years old, that was 20 years ago, in 2001, I had a short, just real 15-minute short little Sundance film. I was really proud of it, though. That's not very big. I mean, for an 18-year-old deal, like 15 minutes, 18 is a big deal for me. Not a very big deal in the real world, but at the time. And about 2 months later, my left eye's retina came off and I had a full-time job. I was living out, trying to be like just trying to be a kid doing like cool things, like thinking I'm like invincible. I didn't go to the doctor for a week. I lost my left eye to that. And 2 weeks later, this eye comes off. I go to the doctor. They tell me they fixed it and they told me prepare for something more. I find out later it's RP. But at the same time, when I was younger, they told me I'm going blind. And I literally felt like I was dreaming for several years. And I absolutely gave up on everything that was important to me. It led me to here. So it's like no regrets, right? I'm doing some cool stuff now. But at the time, I walked away from my dream of filmmaking. And
now you're back.
That's what was
Now
in my
you're
mind,
back.
though, when you walked in the door. I literally was thinking about that right now. And so I'm really glad you're coming out to film with us. That's my story, what happened. But
Yes,
I just, dude, you and this other guy, Kai, I'm really excited because I just, you know, I've had some of these things in my mind. I'm really happy with where the world is today with, you know, for people that are blind. And by the way, I think there's going to be a cure for us anyway, but I'm not going to knock on wood, except for I will. So that's all I want to say about that.
It's
That's
always
all.
good to hope.
It's always good. He's always very optimistic. He doesn't complain. He doesn't whine. He's such a pleasant personality. So he's a great kid. And I watched, they did a video, a Zoom like this with Kai, and that's who you'll be hanging out with.
I figured.
And I think you guys are going to get along well. He does a lot of skateboarding is what I
He
heard
does.
from the video.
I tried that. I fell on my ass the first try.
So I might get on a skate. No, I won't because I don't want to injure myself. I need like. So this guy Kai, he has these shirts that are called "I Swear Apparel," and in English that you can read, it says like I'm blind, and then in Braille that you couldn't read, it says "not deaf, dumbass."
It's sarcastic.
Yeah, it's got a whole line
Is
of
that
those.
what it says in Braille? I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah,
Not deaf, dumbass.
I love it. I really do. So
That's something I would do.
You should.
So it'll be cool. And I'll tell you, just while you're out there, you know, I will tell you, I'd love to see a film from you by the time the Sundance or the Blind Dance Film Festival comes around in November. So I'll be talking to you and Kai and everybody out there about filmmaking a little bit. If anybody wants to pick up a camera, we have extra cameras that are fully insured in case they get dropped, just for
Okay.
people that want to just take a turn at filmmaking, etc. Lights and
Just so you know,
microphones.
my right side is my good side.
Okay.
I know.
Okay. Listen, we'll put that in the contract only from the right side.
Yeah.
turn left, turn left.
Turn to the
Turn
left.
to
turn-
the left.
I torture
Turn
him, so
right.
I always have to have a reader for my scripts when I'm
Because
doing
no one
my,
else in the house knows how to read.
Ah,
my self-tapes for acting. And poor thing, he goes, "Oh God, not again." But he's always my reader.
She always tricks me, says, "Oh, this is the last one." And then when we were finished with that last one, she says, "We have two more."
oh my gosh. Serious question, Brad. I'm serious about this. I'm actually serious. This quite came in my mind as you're saying that. On a resume, would you ever put intern for Mrs. World, or would you just be like, I'm serious.
I hadn't thought of that.
That's a
Dude, the second you said, like, if somebody put a freaking resume
I
on
would
my
get
desk and
good
said,
marks for that.
I would
You
be
would
like,
get good
okay,
marks
I'm
for
calling this guy. Now, what's this about? You're interning for Mrs. You can create whatever title you want, as far as I can think, right?
Yeah, she's Mrs. World. I'm Captain America.
Oh, well, that's just, I'd still probably call you to figure out what you're talking about. That's really cool. Hey, Brandon, do you have a minute that we could ask you just a couple questions, a little bit about your vision and just what you're thinking
Sure.
about for Sedona?
I'll time you in 1 minute.
That's fair. Tell me about your first time you went to Sedona and what you're looking forward to going back. And do you believe in the power of the vortex?
The vortex?
Vortexes. Yep.
There's vortexes over there in Sedona.
Mm-hmm.
You mean I no, I didn't even know about that.
Sedona,
Oh,
Dave?
but you will. Oh,
What's a
but you will.
vortex?
A vortex is it's a concentration of energy it isn't a vortex is a magnifier of the Earth's energy. There you go. A magnifier of energy. And vortexes can be seen and felt by looking at the terrain, observing the ground. They're what makes a vortex? Out here, there's a lot of iron in the ground. That's what gives us our red rocks. A lot of geomagnetic properties. There are also a lot of crystals
Measurable
out here.
magnetic properties.
Yes, there are.
Right.
Also, a lot of crystals, and crystals have amazing energetic properties as well. When you compress them, when they're just amazing. So all these are in the ground, and there's so much to these vortexes. There's position on the planet. There are ley lines. There's all sorts of stuff. But what it is an area that can be felt or perceived or sensed. Experiences are heightened, energies, feelings, thoughts. They're heightened, So if you're having some kind of energetic or peaceful experience and you can lay down on a vortex, it can actually take you.
Really?
It can work with your mind, and it can send you. It can work with your emotions. Vortexes are really, really powerful, and they've been felt for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah.
The indigenous peoples of the lands worked with the vortexes, and they're just, yeah,
They're the reason people come from worldwide, not just the Red Rocks, that energy to Sedona.
The vortex
for healing.
energy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of healing properties. There's so much. There's a book, What is a Vortex? And I went through the book and underlined every important sentence, because it can speak to what a vortex is an awful lot better than me. I'm really inarticulate about these things. There's a great book. We'll be going on a number of hikes the first 2 days, Thursday and Friday, and we'll be going on. We'll be working with 2 different vortexes. One is going to be in a riverbed towards Boynton Canyon. Some really amazing things happen at Boynton Canyon. Great vortex, very powerful one there. So riverbed vortex. And on the second day of hiking, we're going to the Bell Rock vortex, which is completely different. That's more of the geomagnetic kind, where the other one is more of the crystalline kind. And they're different feels, masculine, feminine, clockwise, counterclockwise. And we're going to have an opportunity to sink in and feel and experience these vortexes. And part of my experiment is to see how a blind person responds to a vortex.
Do you know you're there if we don't tell you? We're curious to find out.
Maybe.
Are you in front of a cliff and don't even know it?
I have a theory though.
Uh-huh.
That, like Kirk Adams, the CEO of the American Foundation for the Blind, he's fully blind. He couldn't see, any light in front of his face even, and or maybe just a little bit. But he's very sensitive to energy. You might not know that, April, about Kirk Adams, but he's very interested. He was even taking Reiki lessons, like to learn about what Reiki is from the Japanese.
What's Reiki?
It's energy massage from Japan.
Really?
Ancient people believe, and people pay money for Reiki masters from Japan to go like this.
I figured it was Japanese.
With their hands while they think about the person that's paying the money. And they say that they can heal you energetically from across the world.
Oh, wow.
Who knows though? Who knows?
I love him. He's a pretty interesting guy. He's amazing.
I would have never guessed that about him though, because of how just professional he is. So we're going to just be walking with Kirk, with all due respect to everybody. We're just not going to say when we're to the vortex. And I have a theory that Kirk is literally just going to say, I believe we're at the vortex. It's some random moment. And I'm going to be like, yes, I was right. I think he's going to guess it, Dave. I really do.
He might be the one who's more tuned to everything because he can't see anything.
Right.
Maybe. I don't want to dispel any of Ben's enthusiasm because he's so vibrant.
I'm just so darn excited, if you can't tell.
I'm pretty in tune with my surroundings, so maybe I can guess too.
Oh,
I'd love to see it, but it's not like you're walking along. And yes.
Charles Bonnet syndrome.
I just mentioned the Charles Bonnet syndrome to him.
Nice. Look it up, brother. Look it up.
We'll talk about this in Sedona around the campfire one night. But
Yes.
there is a really interesting thing that happens to some people that are blind. And some people would say it's hard to measure because there's no scientific evidence of this. You can't measure it scientifically, but it's been reported so many times and so consistently that they've developed what's called a term, Charles Bonnet. And it's in people that are blind because your brain just has so many neurons that aren't being fired. And especially if you're going blind, when you have seen before, your brain is used to firing those. You see things that aren't really there, and your brain just can't tell the difference. Just can't. It's like it's really there. Your brain sees it, even though your eyes aren't really seeing it. Charles Bonnet syndrome. Certain people see flashes of light. Some people see fireworks constantly. Some people go as far as to have phantom memories from their past, their brains firing like visions they used to have seen or they have seen in the past. And then sometimes people see scary stuff just because their brain's got a lot of extra power. It's just not using it used to.
I told him that.
Myself, I've got a sparkly ring that's always with me. I've adopted it. I've learned to make it a friend and a useful tool. But that's something else that we'd love to, kick around the campfire, talk about that, because that's something that I just discovered. Like, what is that? And didn't know anything about it until I started asking questions. Like, I'm ready to gouge my eyes out or go see some, very expensive shrink. I just don't understand what. And then closing my eyes at night and that ring is still there is like, there's no escaping it.
You have
no
that
escape.
It's all day. Whenever my eyes are really tired and I close them, I see rings circle around my eyes and they dissipate and separate and then slowly disappear.
I literally have that exact thing, my brother. That's Charles Bonnet. That exact thing. It's like they meet, these little half circles that just keep on meeting over and over again.
Yeah, and they keep circling.
Yep. And if you stand up, sometimes they happen. It happened to me right now, just now. Sometimes I stand up. It's not just because you stand up. It happens a lot. But sometimes when I stand up, they happen more. Like the change of blood flow to my eyes, things I trigger. Dude, that's hardcore though.
Mhm.
Welcome to the club, brother.
Yep.
Hey,
That's Charles Bonnet, my man.
That's why you see creepy things are around the house all the time.
yeah, I see hooded cloaks. I see shadows.
I don't know if
Hey.
that's Charles Bonnet. Also, possibly that absolutely could be, but that also could possibly be interdimensional visitations.
Yep.
Oh,
As
boy.
far as I know, April's like, what? No, I'm just kidding. I have no
They didn't
idea.
tell me about that.
You heard what he said, the hooded clothes were saying, welcome to hell.
What? They say?
No,
Uh-oh.
they don't say anything. That's just me.
Okay.
He's just
I was
he's got a dry sense of humor.
I love it. That's hilarious. By the way, just so you know, April, anything that's said in Sedona on the camera will be approved by everybody before anybody else sees it. That's not in Sedona. That's our
Okay.
policy. So if we're talking about like, hey,
Yes.
Charles Bonnet, or nobody's going to see it and outside of like our group until everybody signed off on it. You have my guarantee and Sedona Dave as well, right?
You got it.
Guaranteed. Yeah, because we don't want
I'm pretty open and cool with anything. So
Okay.
I'm good with it all. It's up to, everyone else, but
Yeah.
I like letting it fly.
I'm
Nice.
gonna tell a story while we're up there, April, that while you and Kirk are there, because I like you guys, I really do see as like for real world-class people. And I seriously want to know what you think if I told this story. And I may or may not put it in the final film about like seeing orbs or stuff. And I'll say, hey guys, I have Charles Bonnet syndrome. So don't judge me because I might have just literally seen it in my brain, but I have an excuse, but maybe it was really there. Little flashes of light out in the water when I lived in Mexico on the beach. I want to tell that
Ooh.
story.
That would be a cool story.
It is a cool story.
Anything is possible. There's so
Yeah.
many mysteries in this world, so many unsolved things. I believe anything is possible.
I've seen Bigfoot.
For real?
Yeah, he's right in the kitchen right now.
Ah! Is that your puppet?
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. What's up? So with, going blind, Brandon, how do you feel it's been in your family? I'm just going to ask a couple more questions. That's right. Like just knowing about this, what are your thoughts on it? And just how do you feel?
Well, I go with it day by day. I don't let it bother me too much. It does at times. I feel a little limited with things. I wanted to be a pilot, but I knew that wasn't realistic. It's not a long-term career for me.
Let me interject for a second, Brandon. I was diagnosed as I was heading to flight school. I was going corporate.
Really?
Yeah, you and I, man, we're gonna have lots and lots of conversations. I had my license and I was going for my commercial and instrument when I had to bail out. But you're not going to see much of your mom for these 4 days. You and I are going to have some
I'm fine
awful
with that.
serious conversations.
I think Dave's going to find a way to take you up on a plane or something.
That'd be great.
I might just adopt you, seriously. Just end it and adopt you because we got some chatting to do, my brother. Yeah.
Nice.
I
So
do
you
have
guys would be great mentors for him.
I'll be Maverick, you be Goose.
Oh,
You always get to
guys?
be
What about me?
Maverick. I want to be Maverick.
You can be Iceman.
Yeah,
I'm
Ben,
down.
you'll be
I'm like,
Iceman.
I'm like, you guys are picking me out of the RP Brotherhood. What's going
It's
on?
not your flying that bothers me. It's your attitude.
That's funny. There is
I love it.
Ice, man. Sorry.
Yeah, that,
So now I'm
That's
gonna
right.
keep doing that.
Ice, man.
Ice. You're like ice.
that was classic.
Sorry.
Are you
Now
guys
look what
like
you've done.
long lost best friends? I think so. Oh my gosh.
My kindred brother.
I love it. Now hold
I
on,
can't
hold
wait
on.
for the second movie to come out.
Do you like Breaking Bad, Brandon?
I never watched it.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, we have that show. What about the movie Borat? Do you like Borat?
Borat? No.
He's Sasha Cohen.
my name is Borat. Yakshama, did you see that, April? The Borat video we did with Barry?
No, I didn't see that.
You get to see me act. I have a 5-minute short film. I entered into a disability film contest, and I'm pretty sure we're going to take the whole thing. It's a
Okay.
legitimate 5-minute. Even Sedona Dave does a cameo. Okay.
What?
Send me the link.
The what?
Send me the
I
link.
so I'm gonna
I did a
send it.
cameo?
Remember, you're in the background in that film. We literally planned out a shot right in front of your mural that we have of you.
Oh, that. Oh,
Yep.
oh, I thought you got me in the, oh my.
No. We
I thought I
literally
was
were like,
there.
wait, how are we gonna get Sedona Dave in this thing? And we went and stood in front of the big mural that we have. We have a giant mural of Sedona Dave in our office. Yep, out in Sedona.
That's it.
I'm like, where was I?
Well, you guys, this has been a wonderful interview. I'm going to edit this together in a really cool way. Before we go, though, I just want to ask you, what time do you fly home Sunday?
I believe we leave about 4 p.m. Sunday and get
Awesome.
p.m.
Okay.
That's good
so
news.
you guys will be in Sedona still at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Not
yeah.
leaving. Okay.
Yes.
That
Yes.
I wasn't sure what the final time was. Right now, I want to before we close this up, I want to ask you how you feel about hugging a wild wolf Sunday morning before you head home.
Ooh.
I like doggy style.
I'm serious about this though. We're talking about.
That actually would be pretty cool.
He's serious too.
Oh, I'm not sure how the wolves are like that.
He's correct.
So there's a woman in Sedona that Dave's met, and she's actually blind herself though.
The dog?
No, this woman that is she heals wolves, and she's got like a rescue ranch. And these wolves that were once wild and free, just roaming around, live on her rescue ranch, and they're very docile and friendly to humans. Sedona Dave's a friend of this lady. She's blind as well, and she's really excited to meet all of us.
That's great.
That's
Me,
you got like a whole agenda for us.
We did.
I've got an amazing agenda for y'all. Quick side note on this woman and her wolves. They're living, or their house was back in the day Wyatt Earp's brother's
Wyatt Earp,
stagecoach.
all right.
Yeah, his stagecoach house. That was the stagecoach building back in
Oh
the
my
day.
goodness.
You know why,
And,
right?
Yeah, the cowboy,
Yeah.
whatever.
Right.
Sheriff. He was
Sheriff.
sheriff.
Yeah, so there's some amazing history of the land too. So I don't know if I mentioned that to you, Ben, but yeah, I don't know what his name is, but she'll tell you all about it. And there's artifacts in the house from the Earps, and neat experience. Neat experience.
Yeah, sounds great.
Now,
Yes.
do you remember who played Doc Holliday? Iceman.
What's his name in real life? I
So
forgot.
in the credits
He doesn't.
of See Sedona Blind, I'm going to ask you guys to do the Iceman impress with the chomping thing again, and just get each of us doing that because that's hilarious. Look back. Look up.
I'd love it.
And the last thing I want to tell you guys about is that Dave has booked us in Jerome, which is a haunted town. There's a haunted town in Arizona, right outside of Sedona. We're going to the haunted town,
I'm in.
and in the haunted town, there is the world's largest kaleidoscope store, and they have kaleidoscopes ranging up into thousands of dollars, and they're letting a bunch of blind folks walk through this place. And since we're almost blind and legally blind, a lot of us, the curious question is, what is it going to look like for us to look through a kaleidoscope and then audio describe it to the audience and to other people? And we
There you
have
go.
different people with different types of vision. So it's going to be really interesting.
Perception.
Yep.
Ah.
You guys like kaleidoscopes?
Yeah.
I haven't looked at one since I was a kid.
Yeah,
But
here.
Okay.
Say, do you like kaleidoscopes,
all the
Jimmy?
colors.
Do you guys have any questions for Sedona, Dave?
What can I field? What answers can I?
Oh, so
Yes.
we have apparel that we're going to be wearing. Is that mostly shirts? Shirt apparels?
Yes, we have almost blind shirts, a werewolf shirts, and blind dance shirts, and we also
what-
have hats.
Okay, what kind of pants do you recommend we hike in? Is it like khaki cargo pants, or what do you recommend?
Sedona, Dave.
I'm a big fan of cargo pants. I love them. Once you try cargo pants, you never go back to jeans. I'm only a cargo pants kind of a guy. Jeans are good. Anything loose and light is good. I don't honestly think, this is going to sound weird, but I don't think I have to worry about cactus thorns because no pants are going to stop cactus thorns. Boots don't stop cactus thorns. So Ben will attest. So
That's true.
but good thing is that cactuses don't grow on the trails.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we'll stay on the trails. So lightweight clothing that's loose and easy to walk in, very comfortable to walk in. Obviously hiking boots, t-shirts. Oh, good news, Ben, and everybody here.
T-shirts came in?
No,
Oh yeah.
no, better news than that.
I got some T-shirts in the
What?
mail to you.
What? No. What? No. What?
Sorry, tell me your good news.
Good news is I've been tracking the weather and I've been watching the temperatures creep up to 78, 79, pushing 80 as the hiking days approach. And I was like, oh, you're going the wrong way. Woke up this morning, Thursday's hiking day, 75, partly cloudy. Yeah.
How many days are we hiking?
2 days.
Friday, Saturday?
Thursday and Friday are hiking days. And then Saturday, we're heading up to Jerome to the Kaleidoscope store, some amazing ribs and Arizona Botanical Gardens, if you like to pet cactuses. Though we can only hike on Thursday and Friday. We cannot be on the trails filming on the weekend.
Okay.
I want to be very clear though to tell you, Brandon, where you guys are staying. Like we're talking about hikes, like we're going on a hike. You're going to have trailheads right outside the door. So when we're back and there's downtime, if you want to go for a nature walk, it'll be right outside your door whenever you want.
Sweet.
Yeah, just FYI, like it's Sedona. That's what it's all about over there. And I got to show off the new shirts, and I'm really excited. So we have some werewolf shirts for you as well. We have this
Nice.
almostblind.org shirt that I'm wearing. Super excited about it. And it says almostblind.org in the back too, because people give me grief when the line moves forward and I don't see it. Now I can see I'm almost blind. I'm so happy. And then the
Nice.
Blind Dance Film Festival. And you guys, this is not that people, it's tactile. And I think that's so cool for someone who's blind. I'm like, it's the letter B on the side, and you can literally
Okay.
feel it. You can feel this is like an arch. And
Yes.
so for different people, we describe it. It's like there is an obstacle. It's like an EKG heartbeat line, right? With an arch that goes over it, and we can overcome any obstacles. And that's what that's all about. That's the
Very
meaning of
cool.
that logo.
I just
Love
won't
that.
have anyone do Braille when I'm wearing that.
I understand. I understand. So this, you guys, is going to be such an adventure. Really looking forward to you guys being here. Brandon, you, your mother, and your auntie being all together is a real awesome part of this story. It really
Yep.
is.
Great
Three
story.
blind mice.
Great.
It's cool.
Great. Love that. Love
Yep.
that.
Well, thank you for inviting us.
It was great. Yeah.
I was
You're
so
gonna have fun.
excited. So excited.
Do you guys have
are
any
fun.
allergies to know about? And can you guys get a COVID test before you fly?
Yeah, I guess we can just go to Walgreens or something and get a COVID test. So we need that to fly, or
We would like everybody to take one so everybody else feels
Is
safe taking their
safe.
masks off and just hanging out.
gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
Want to
perfect. We'll
form
do
one
one.
big happy bubble.
Yep.
Yay.
And then everybody will be able to look at each other and go, COVID free, everybody.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah,
so
so
we'll get
test-
tested.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so,
I
so
will
much.
edit this, and I'd really like to send this over to you to watch and approve before Thursday evening, if that'd be possible. If I could send it
Okay.
to you. I might not send it till tomorrow night, though. I'll be late editing.
That's fine. Whenever you can send it and we'll look at it. All right.
Thanks so much.
Take care, guys.
So fun.
Bye, guys.
Brandon, meet you soon,
Great
dude.
news.
April, see you soon. Tell Melissa, see you later.
I will. I saw she logged off. She probably go take care of her kids.
All right, she did awesome. We got it all recorded. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
All
Thank you
right.
so much. See
Thank
you
you.
soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So Sedona Dave,
What's up,
Sedona
brother?
Dave, Sedona
That's
Dave, Sedona
cool.
Dave, Sedona Dave, Sedona Dave, Sedona Dave, Sedona Dave, Sedona Dave, Sedona Dave, Dave, Dave.
Yes.
What if I just kept singing? How long would you let that go for?
About another 2.5 seconds.
He's like, all right then.
Have they for sure? Are we the only 2 people left in the room?
We are only 2 people left in the room.
I thought Brandon was Melissa's son.
Except for Borat is also here.
Oh, great. No, I thought Brandon was Melissa's son.
No, that's April's son.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. See what? You'll see nothing. Yeah. Dude, that was really good.
That was great. I really enjoyed that.
Let me stop recording this though. Just
Oh!
Sedona Dave. Sedona Dave. Dave.
Nice.